Oh,
That's why.
I'll try not to be loud.
I mean, you could be you.
Don't be me.
You.
Don't be me. You be you. I'll be me. We are happy as we can be.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
All right.
boo boo.
Are you ready? Wow. We ain't even started yet.
Yeah, it's your boy Ray on the mic. Let's go. Mic check, mic check. Welcome to On the Mic with Ray White, where we share life lessons, encourage self-reflection, and equip you to take action. My name is Ray White, and I am juiced that you're taking the time to listen to this episode today. And this podcast is a platform that shares stories, lessons, milestones, and accomplishments that we all face on our day-to-day. And I'm so excited because we have an opportunity to celebrate an accomplishment by somebody that I truly love, and that is my mama. Yes, I had the opportunity to have my mama, Shineah Garner, in the guest chair for this particular episode because we are celebrating the fact that she accomplished her bachelor's in sociology. And this is a pretty good opportunity, pretty great opportunity that she just accomplished, and I just want to have an opportunity to celebrate her on the podcast. So I'm so happy that you'll take a listen to this episode because you'll just hear some great insights of just her journey to get to the point where she went to school, her time during classes and doing the things that we all have done as students before, and then what she plans on doing now that she has this degree. So for those who are now currently in school or just really apprehensive in starting something new, or even just struggling with just staying in it and being in the grind and keep moving forward, this episode is for you. Provide you some encouragement to move you along the way. So take a listen to this episode titled Follow Your Path, featuring Shineah Garner, and I'll catch y'all on the other side.
Yes, here we are on the mic. We on the mic with Ray White. I got another special guest here in the podcast chair, in the guest chair with me. The true day one. The true day one. You know, there's a lot of day ones out there, but this one is legit the day one for me in my life. The one and only Shineah Garner, a.k.a. my mama.
That's me.
What's up, mama? How you doing?
Hi, baby. How are
I'm
you?
doing well. I'm happy that you're up here.
I'm excited.
As a lot of folks know, obviously, I live here in Oregon, and I'm from California.
Yes.
And my mom is actually from California as well, Southern California. So she's up here hanging out with the family, being here with us. And while she was in town, I said, hey, you got to get on the mic.
Oh, here I am. I'm a little nervous, but let's go.
Hey, that's all good. That's all good. Nothing wrong with that. But yes, I'm excited to have my mom on the mic because she has a lot of wisdom, and she is my mama. And I've learned a lot of great things from her in my almost 30 years of life. So, which that's a whole nother issue, not an issue, but a whole nother story. But one of the main things I wanted to bring my mom on is because she just accomplished a pretty big milestone in her life that I am super excited for and jazzed about because that's dope. She just finished her bachelor's in sociology.
Indeed.
At Grand Canyon University.
Yes.
Mama.
Yes.
Nice work.
Thank you, son.
Great job.
Thanks for all your help and prayers and homework help.
Yes.
It was quite a journey.
It was a journey. And for the listeners, I also got my bachelor's in sociology, too. So when my mom said that, one, she was getting her bachelor's, I was like, hey, let's go. And then, two, she said sociology. I was like, let's go. So we've been socializing.
Well, you know, I chose it so you can help me with my homework.
Yeah,
so.
Don't you ain't got to tell them all that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
So while we're here, I obviously want to talk about that dynamic and that experience for you. And the first question I had was, you know, let's talk about what got you, like what led you to getting that degree. Like what was the whole story behind that?
Well, it's one of those things that I wanted to do since you and your sister were young and in elementary school because, you know, I was a mom early. And I didn't take school as seriously as I probably should have back in the day. But at this point in my life, I felt like it was something that I was ready to do. I had been praying about it, thinking about it. And it's one of those things that had kept coming to mind. You need to go back to school. You need to go back to school. So to me, it was the, you know, God's still small voice saying it's time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in the past, I've had some obstacles, you know, get in the way with that. And
and I let those obstacles get in the way.
Yeah.
I guess I should say. So this time I was like, okay, and then one night I was watching TV and this one commercial was louder than the rest. And I'm like, what the heck? And I looked up and it was Grand Canyon University and their slogan is find your purpose. And I said, well, I guess that's it.
There it is.
There it is.
Wow.
At 44.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting that, as you stated, there were quite a few things, quite a few obstacles that you experienced, and then in a moment where you were in the process and praying and thinking, so that small, still voice, well, I guess loud voice in your case, the TV commercial stood out and really kind of grabbed hold of your heart and your mind, and saying that you can do this. I guess my next question then to kind of lead on to that is, what did that next step look like? So yes, you saw the commercial and you find your purpose and you really felt a tug in that. Obviously the next step will be applying, but just that time between that commercial and actually applying, like what were some of your emotions?
Oh man, the fear.
Yeah.
So the biggest fear, and I'm not ashamed to say it, was math. That was the biggest thing. I thought, what am I going to do? And the reason is how you struggle with statistics.
Oh, Lord.
And I knew that was coming. And I thought, if Ray struggled with it, I know I'm going to struggle. So I thought, what am I going to do with math? But I knew I had to do it. Like, I knew it was going to be part of the process. So in thinking of it, when I called the school and when I talked to the counselor, that's the main thing I said, hey, what's this math going to look like?
That's a good question.
Help me understand. And she told me I had 2 math classes, that algebra type class and the stats. And I said, oh, right.
Yep.
I'm going to need help with that, but here we go.
Yep.
And so I spoke with you and Dominique and at the time my fiance, and I said, okay, this is going to take some time. We're heading into this new journey as well, but I'm also going to have to do a lot of homework. Yeah. And he said he was behind me 100%. So that obstacle that I felt in the past was now, if I didn't do it, is now an excuse. And I thought, okay, if I have all these people on my side and I still don't do it, now it's an excuse. So
that's a good perspective.
Yeah.
Oh.
So off I went.
There you go. And so for context, Grand Canyon University, I know a lot of folks know about it. They have a physical presence in Arizona.
Yes, in Phoenix.
In Phoenix, Arizona. Yes. But you did the whole online course.
All of it.
So how was the whole online process?
Man.
Of doing your whole education online?
So that process, once I figured out the class, like how to work the system, because, all your books are online, there's no physical book to get. So sometimes I had to actually print a chapter to grasp the full understanding of, what they're trying to teach me. Right. But what I did like about it is the fact that I could take it anywhere. So that laptop went from East Coast to West Coast, from North to South. It went on vacations. It slept with me in bed because I'd fall asleep doing homework. That laptop was my life. Yes. But it allowed me to also take it to work if I needed to and do homework on lunch breaks, on breaks and stuff like that. So the online, for me, it worked well. Good. Yeah.
That's good. It didn't work for me. Well,
it didn't work for you at all? Oh my gosh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And just the time, because to have to leave work and go to class, for me, that was a lot. But to leave work and come home, get comfortable, and do homework, I thrived.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So while you were going through that whole process, you mentioned early on, which I'm glad you stated, that one of their main slogans is finding your purpose.
Yes.
How did you feel, or I guess talk a little bit more about what you feel your purpose is, or how did you learn to come to your purpose, define what that looks like, and then how did that whole process of going to that particular school in general help find that for you?
Well, I think some of those classes in particular especially felt like they were tailor-made for me. Although they weren't, but it felt like that. So like, for instance, the marriage and family class, it hit home in so many aspects of my life. So as a mom, as a single mom, then I got married, I got divorced, I got remarried, then became a stepmom. Yeah. That whole 8-week class was my life. So it was like a journal. It was like an eye-opening experience for me, to where because, sometimes you feel like you do things wrong in life and you feel like you just didn't do it right.
Yeah.
So going through this class, I was like, oh, okay, I did it like that, or I did okay. And, it made me feel good. So in that aspect, I'm like, okay, as a wife now, as a new wife, I guess, again, mom, stepmom, grandmother.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
that's a whole nother issue.
Hey.
Before I can finish school, I had 2 grandkids.
Yeah.
My purpose in that aspect was I felt like not needed, but I felt like I had a purpose. Like all of these things fit together for a reason, I guess I should say. And then towards the tail end of school, they had us do what's called a capstone. So I had to find a nonprofit organization or something in the community to work in. And I chose a foster care agency.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that was going to look like. And then when he told me he was going to have me tutoring, I thought, are you kidding me now? I'm not a teacher. I don't tutor.
Yeah.
My time in helping kids with homework, my kids are in their 20s. You're almost 30 years old. So I thought, okay, but I knew I had to do it. And I felt like that's a place where God called me to.
Okay.
And I didn't know why at the time.
Yeah.
So when I started, I was assigned 4 little girls. And these little girls touched my heart in a way you can't even imagine. So I look forward to those 3 days a week to go, and they would show me their projects that they do during the day. And then I also learned through my classes of like the social economic aspects of the lower income students,
Right.
and their home life. So I had to learn how to get them to learn in different ways.
Right.
So, the foster care agency had a certain curriculum set up, and I thought that's not going to work for all kids. So for me, it was I go home at nighttime and find a new way to get them to learn something the next day.
That's cool.
And that I loved.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Did you teach them math?
I
Stats.
did teach you.
Not
No
the stats,
stats. But my one little girl that did not like math, by the time it was over, she was doing well. And I just saw her. I still help with the foster care agency, and I just saw her, and she said she likes math.
There we go. Look at you.
I said, I don't know what I did, but good luck.
Hey, I think the biggest thing, speaking of that, and I have another question following up to that, but
Sure.
the fact that obviously you went through a barrier or a wall or something that you knew that was like a hurdle and obstacle that
Right.
you were like, I know this is not my strong suit or my, this is a weakness of mine, but I'm willing to dig into it and at least understand and identify with it to come out on the other side.
Right.
And then by you coming out on the other side, you're able to then reach back and help other people who will also be struggling. These little girls who
Right.
may not necessarily, one day will get to the point of going to college or taking higher education in some capacity and can recall on the moment that you've shared with them and help me like, oh yeah, math was fun then, and it can still be fun now.
Right.
Just got to figure out a different way to approach it. And then to go back to another thought I had was the fact of how, at least I've seen this in my education, but sociology kind of helps see the holistic view of a person.
Right.
And I'm sure other disciplines have some capacity of that, taking another sliver of our humanity and of our society, but utilizing your sociology education and knowledge to identify with the kids,
Right.
and to figure out what's the best way to reach them where they are at to help them move forward in their future.
Right.
And what I enjoy is that even without the degree, that's your heart already. Like that's something that I notice quite often. I mean, I've obviously as me as your son,
who's also in the community,
right? Being able to know that your heart is already finding ways to break down barriers or remove obstacles for other people, so that way they can be successful in what they want to accomplish. So that's awesome that you're continuing to do that. That's great. That's great, Mama.
Yes.
So then, you graduated. You actually just recently walked.
I did, October 12th.
That's so awesome.
That was an experience like no other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the class finished in August. So it was I had to wait.
Yeah.
A minute, but I've already had the cap and gown. I got that like in July. So I was like ready to go for this process. But in that moment of putting that gown on, I had my stole. And then I had my honor roll cords too.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, I am now at this point 49. I am an honor roll student at a university and I'm about to graduate.
Yeah.
And that whole moment was just, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just sitting out there with all of those people. And the fact that, there were some older than me, younger than me. I sat between two, bookends of one was 54 and this young lady, I believe she said she was 20 something, and just the feeling of being there was just, I want to go back.
Well, maybe.
We'll
talk about that
later. That's another podcast.
Pushing my mama to get a master's.
Indeed.
So yeah, well, that's
Indeed.
cool. Yeah, I'm. We had some traveling issues up here, so I was unable to make it there.
Yeah.
But it was awesome that you
understand.
sent me the link, and I was able to watch it at work.
Yeah.
Watch my mama across the stage. It was pretty awesome. So yes, that's a great accomplishment. And I do have a question of just so what's next?
Mm-hmm.
But I also just want to take a moment just to celebrate that. I mean, again,
Thank
that's
you.
a major accomplishment to do. And knowing your story and being a part of your story,
Right. It's been a
lot of way.
journey.
It's definitely been a journey. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It's one of those things, like I tell you and your sister all the time, that we've come a long way and we've come through some stuff.
Yeah.
But look at us now.
Right.
There's nothing that God can't do. And as long as we let him lead, oh man, we're on fire.
Right.
We're on fire.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought we'd be in the place that we're in now. But man, it's awesome.
Oh man.
It's awesome.
So what's next? What's next? You got the degree. You're working in the foster with the foster children still.
Yes, I am.
And that's obviously immediately what
Mhm.
you're currently working on. But
Mhm.
you have this degree. What's next?
Well, I also my job.
Oh yeah, you gotta work.
I do have a job. I work with the elderly.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah.
So there is a division within my company that also works with the community, with the elderly, and not so much because I work for a health plan.
Right.
So it's not even just our members; it's in the community, and it's not just Long Beach; it's surrounding communities wherever we have people we can go to. So that's my prayer right now. I'm praying about, is that something that I want to move into?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to go into the community with the elderly, or do I want to stay with the children?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The foster care agency is still looking to match me with a mentee.
Yeah.
I think we called it a mentee.
Yeah.
A little girl
There you go.
to mentor. So we're still looking for that match as well. So I'm waiting to see how that's going to play out. That hopefully I can touch the life of a little girl for a year. It's a year commitment.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
That's
I'm
cool.
waiting for that as well.
Yeah. And it seems like your job has been very supportive and flexible
Yes.
for you doing the work with the foster children as well as your job. And I know you have the ability to make accommodations for your work and to be in the lives of kids as well. So that's awesome that they're
Yes.
involved in that capacity too.
Yeah, they let me, I can work from home when I need to. I can adjust my hours when I need to. Like when I worked for the Halloween thing the other night, I worked 7 to 3:30 so I can get there by 4, and I missed like the very beginning of the setting up, but I was there for the whole time to play with the kids or to help set up, help give out raffle prizes and stuff like that. So they've been very accommodating. Awesome.
So more opportunities. Your lens is now looking into the community, or more using the education to be more impactful in the community.
Yes.
Involving lives as well. Maybe the masters.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
I keep it going.
But you know what? Here's the thing. So our pastor said one time that we need to use our job as a resource for our passion. So while I may not be making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but if it funds my passion of working in the community, I'm okay with that.
Right.
I am okay with that. So it's all for God.
Yeah.
And it's all for his glory.
Yeah.
So if I can do that,
Yeah.
then hey.
Why not? Why not?
Hey.
But I also, you said you're not trying to do that tomorrow too, so you take some time. You're not trying to jump into that.
Let me tell you something about this master's. As another 2 years, Mama's getting old.
I know.
Mama's getting old.
But
I think I can do it.
yeah. I mean, shoot, you just did this.
I did.
You did this on top of some other things as well. So I think, even though we joke about you potentially doing your master's one day, I know that's not immediate thing that has to get done,
Right.
or absolutely needs to get done. The fact of, like you said, you're using your resources well, you're involved and engaged, and you're being real in tune with God and what He says, guiding you in that space. That's awesome, and so that's important than just chasing another degree just to chase a degree.
Right.
So
Right.
that's cool. That's cool.
Right.
Look at you. So as we get towards the tail end of this, one of the main things that I want to ask guests is just what are some advice that you would give. And I know a lot of things that you state definitely have some opportunities to share, to impact a multitude of folks. But I know that there are individuals who were once in your shoes, going to school, doing the online program, as a mother and, further on in life. What advice do you have for those individuals who could be starting in the same place or in the same process or were in the same process you were just in?
Well, the first thing is don't let fear hold you back, because that could have easily been my excuse, especially when it came to the math.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't think I can do this. But don't let fear hold you back. That's number one. Number two, I would say, especially if you're a more seasoned adult.
Seasoned adult. I like that. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to write that down.
If you're a little more seasoned, you're also set in your ways. So you're going to have to be flexible. And you're also going to have to not let other people's opinions get in your way. Because there's not always people, that doesn't make sense. There are some people in life that just don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you better yourself. So you're going to have to quiet all the naysayers, get within yourself, listen to the still small voice, and move forward. And if that means you move forward by yourself, then you keep moving. You get your support group around you. If you have them, you tap into them and you tap into that resource and you keep moving forward. That's the best thing I can tell you, is to keep moving forward. For those seasoned adults.
The seasoned adults, yes.
You younger ones, y'all just need to do it.
Oh, my God. I feel, as one of the younger ones that's in that crowd, those words of advice still apply.
Absolutely.
Being able to move forward regardless of what other people may say,
exactly.
whether they're saying or not saying, because there are a lot of silence out there too.
Oh, man.
That could definitely hinder anybody, because they, like, for me personally, wanting to hear affirmation and feel affirmation helps me take steps forward, because it's like, okay, I'm on the right path because somebody's saying something. But if nobody says anything, it's like, okay, well, am I on the right track? But knowing that still is part of the process towards reaching our goals and achieving any level of success, taking those steps forward and listening to the right voice as well.
Right.
Like you stated, the community of people that you surround yourself with, and having God, having that close relationship with God, following those voices and taking those steps are more important than trying to seek out any voice out there or being worried about whatever voice is out there. So I hear that. I receive that.
Well, sometimes it's hard too, because you're going to have to understand that there's going to be some things you're not going to be able to do. You have homework, right? And you're going to miss some things, but you're going to have to be okay with that. But you're also going to have to be okay with those people that are upset with you because you missed some things. You're on a different path. Follow your path. I like that. Yes. Yes, sir.
Look at you, Mama. Hey. Mama was super nervous getting on the podcast.
I was super nervous.
Look at you. You did an excellent job. I told her, hey, just be you. Be you. And then, I love you. So
I love you too, baby. That's my baby boy.
Well, thanks, Mom, for coming on. I really do appreciate this. And again, like I stated, I appreciate the fact that you are constantly in my life and continue to be in my life, and find opportunities to be in my family's lives as well.
Absolutely.
So, just any opportunity where we can come together, on the mic, off the mic, whatever, is always a greatness and blessing. And
absolutely.
I am so proud that you've accomplished this task. And I know you have a million others in front of you as well, that you're going to knock it out of the park. Thanks for continuing to be the model for me. And continue to love me and love my family well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look at you.
Some of this stuff I can't do without you.
Oh, well.
I mean, you have to know that you're my prayer warrior as well. When I need something, or when I need that clutch talk, I gotta call On the Mic with Ray White.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mama. Appreciate you being on the mic.
Thank you, baby.
And talk soon.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yes, follow your path. Man, I'm so juiced that I had the opportunity for my mom, Shineah, to come onto the mic and to share her accomplishment and share the story that she took to get from her beginning stages of school and even prior to that and all the way to now to where she has a degree and is looking ahead towards making an impact in not just her lives, but the lives of others that she wants to serve. Shout out to my mama for coming onto the mic with that one. Before we leave, I had to put an exclamation point on a thought that was given during the episode, which is keep moving forward. I heard that constantly through the message of Shineah's message with going to school and even getting to the point of going back to school. But just the idea how important it is for us to keep moving forward in our goals, our dreams, the endeavors that we've set out to accomplish, or that's put into our hearts, or the calling that's on our lives, to be able just to keep moving forward. And what I mean by that is we have to move forward in those times and the spaces where doubt seeps into our minds, or fear just grasps us in a way that hinders us from moving forward, or even silence. Like truly, silence can really be a hindering factor when you don't hear anything that is giving you even direction of guidance or support or pushback or whatever, where you're just out there alone in the wilderness and you just hear nothing. I get that a little bit, just a little bit. I understand. But what I wanted to encourage you all, and I hope that you heard in the episode, is that you just need to keep moving forward. If it's a desire in your heart, it's a seed planted in your mind, seed planted in your heart, something that you just can't get out of your mind of just bugging you on a regular basis. Take the steps moving forward, just one step at a time, but just keep moving forward. And some of the pieces that can help you in moving forward is just having the right voice, having the right people, and being tied to the right mission. And that voice is key, especially not just listening to anybody and everybody, but having your heart in tune with God, as well as those who are surrounded in your circle to give you the guidance needed to move forward. And then having the right people around you helps with that, so that way you know you're on the right path in the right direction. And then being tied to the right mission, because you are able to do the actions needed that is focused on what your calling is. Not nobody else's, but your calling and the goals that you set out for yourself. And that's being true to who you are, true to the identity that is placed within you. So keep moving forward. I encourage y'all to keep moving forward. And I really want to hear your thoughts on what you think are things that you can do to keep moving forward in your goals. Let me know. Thanks so much for listening to On the Mic with Ray White. And if you found any value in this, my ask is that you help me out in doing the following actions. First, rate and review this episode and this podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Secondly, share this episode with a friend. And not only that, have a conversation with them and talk through the discussion questions that were given at the end of the episode. And third, connect with me on social media. You can follow me personally on my personal account on all platforms at Ray Devante. That's RayDevante. And you can follow the On the Mic with Ray White Instagram account at OTM Podcast. And let me know what you think of the show. Thanks so much. And don't forget to continue to share your story. Peace.